Hi everybody, following on our YouTube video of draining down your caravan, I just thought I'd give you a few pointers because it's the last weekend of the season for this year. So I'm just going to go through a few bits and bobs to remind you of what to do for the close of season. So obviously in the winter it needs to be drained down to make sure there's no water still in your system that could freeze. This is generally from October till March. So you should follow guidance in your manufacturer's handbook if you've still got one. Older caravans, you might have to look in a few cupboards for one. Also, particular importance for if you've got a thermostatic mixer valve, so if your shower is both hot and cold, they are very prone to damage in the winter, so it's important to wrap them up really well to keep them insulated, because you could find if you don't do that they could easily crack. And when you come next year, they'll be broken. Also, just a reminder, if you haven't done so already, you can book the drain down service from us. That's £35. If you pop in the office, we'll sort you out. If you haven't booked down the drain down service, just make sure that if you don't do it through us, you get a competent plumber who's accredited to drain it down for you, because if you don't, the insurances won't pay out sometimes if it is frost damage and you've done it yourself. So that's just to be aware of. Make sure washing machines, dishwashers, they've had an individual isolation valve on them. Turn them off so it protects them over the winter. Also, open up all your curtains, take down your nets, take them home to be washed. Just to make sure that if there are any naughty people about, they're not going to thieve out your caravan, because they can see in it and they know that all valuables are being removed from the over the winter. Also, the importance of an annual gas safety check. Check your smoke alarms, check your carbon monoxide alarms, check your vents to make sure they're not blocked up, check your gutters. Check all the panels, make sure if there's any loose, fix them, because if the wind gets underneath them it can whip them off, especially skylights. Tie them down if you can with cable ties, just in case. It's also just to be aware, if you have a gas test and you're subletting your caravan holiday home, whether it's formally or informally, you've got to have a gas test certificate, so you can book in the office for that. Also, in the central heating systems, this is for the more modern caravans with central heating, it's a closed system, so you need your antifreeze checking. Our plumber can do that for you. Just check the levels and you might need a top up of antifreeze. Speaking of antifreeze, the water regulations or advisory scheme, I think it's RAS or something like that, they advise not to put antifreeze in toilets in your water system because it is poisonous, and also if you flush it down the drains it's going to kill everything that comes into contact with it, so please don't do that. It is illegal. Somebody commented on the previous YouTube video about putting antifreeze down your toilet. Even if it is a little slug worth, you can't do it these days. It's illegal, so please don't do it. Also, just make sure when you're leaving the caravan, the water and the electric, you've switched the boxes off in the off position, so it's all done. And also just open your curtains, take the nets down, open a few cupboards too. If you do look in, then you can see the cupboards are empty, the TVs have all gone home. Don't leave TVs, DVD players, computers, that kind of thing here. Take them back home, and anything that you do leave, make sure it's securely locked up and alarmed if possible. If I don't see you this weekend, just wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in March next year in 2019. See you later, bye!